20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. A bootleg. Pass incomplete. So here are the starters for this offensive unit. Lamar Miller, very good out of the backfield.
And getting better all the time. The more touches he gets in a game, the bigger his impact on it.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
26.
Now Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
The big play to start him out has him at the 40. Now it's Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will have a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the
spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 9 catches, 102 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number one in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And some space here.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jamal Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward? Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Let's go, team. Right left.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
55, right there in the middle, 55.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers looking end zone, but it's incomplete. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking out the number 1 overall.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Packers have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Well, first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Mitch Trubisky, an early touchdown pass in that one. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, Watson, and able to find Higbee. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. Watson on 1st down. Completes it out left to Waring. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Watson on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And what do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning. but you're not having your best game. That probably affects you even when your team is up.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, he's got something he can fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom line, though. They're winning, so he knows if he plays better, they might be winning by more.
And it's only the second quarter, so he's got some time. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got them another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Left side here to Sanders. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Hey, let's get this. 41's coming. 41's the mic. Don't get nervous. 26. Hey, exit.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do? And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Preston Smith, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Watson with a give to Miller. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the return is Williams. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
26. Hey, 88.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Got some room at the 30, and finally taken down at the 36-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. To throw is Watson. Completes it right side to Dodson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
On second down, here's Watson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy in addition to the pencil.
And those last for a
long time.
No doubt. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
2 times. Run it 50. Hey, you block over here.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Open man, it's Vanette. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get. And it doesn't have to be something that...
Get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From the 24, Rodgers got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. He'll find his tight end, Seals-Jones. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they...
From the gun, it's Rodgers. That is caught at the 7. 25 yards that time. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now Rodgers to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. On the ground, this is Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And he's certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
And he goes. Preston Smith in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now.
This is about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your program? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
6, man, check 26. Check curls, check curls. Hey, Alpha.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a first down. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Check. Hey, Echo. Hot, hot. Mike, 55.
To throw is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's the Wisconsin native and former Badger, J.J. Watt, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
You got nothing today.
Rodgers going to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike, 55. Mike, hey, 88.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Flush to his right. He's got Adams on the hookup. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
41's the mic. Drop deep.
Rodgers now on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Hey, box trot.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers over the middle. That's caught by Adams. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And Adams has it complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Davante Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Hey, zoom.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Hey, seam 6. They'll
go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And this Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Caught left side, Hopkins. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Check 43.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. Preston Smith there on the stop.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play, he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong. You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. 12 yards there and a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Get 300. Get 300. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Throwing is Rodgers. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw, Watson. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Williams loses the football, and the Packers pick it up. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. McManus now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention on the Green Bay defense as they head out. They've played excellent. Another stop here, that would just be the icing on the cake.
You definitely want to finish things off the way it's gone throughout the day. And it's gone awfully well for them. They don't want to give up any type of a fluke, any type of a big play here. That'll leave a bad taste in their mouth as they go in and celebrate.
Yeah, they want that good cake taste, right?
No doubt about it. That 6-layer cake.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Packers, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Houston...